Hi everyone. I'm a little bit stressed out because I've been carrying like the weight of this energy session we're gonna do together, and I don't usually choose what I do. It's kind of told to me through my guides. So I channeled the Akashic records, and they told me the amount of what we're doing to get together today, and it's a lot. So I hope you're ready for this because it's a lot, but I'm sure it's what everyone needs here, and I'm excited. So during Summer Soul, 6 months ago, we worked with the sun together. And that replay is in the PDF. You can access it for free. And there's a little ritual, and it's wonderful. Today, we're doing that with the moon. And it allows us not only to meditate with the moon, but it allows us to actually do that shadow work we mentioned, but in the integrative part. So we're going to work with the moon as a mirror. The moon reflects the light of the sun, and then we see it, and that's why it changes through the months and through the weeks, right? So the moon is in Pisces right now. That's why you all had teary eyes during the day, and you might have cried during the whole break. I did. I know, it's fine. um, but I see the moon as a mirror because when it's nighttime, we're usually far away from everyone. We usually have this romantic idea of being alone with the moon, talking to the moon, and kind of showing ourselves to her, kind of, you know, she's a friend, right? And maybe we confess all of our things to the moon, or we ask for help in the recent years. That's something that we do in France a lot, like those confessing to the moon things. I don't know if you have it, but anyway. Um, so, what I want to share and what I would like for us to do together is that we are going to connect with ourselves through a mirror. And if you don't have a mirror, it's fine because we're going to do like the change of camera, and you're just going to look at yourself. No one's going to look at you. And we're all going to look at one another, not one another, sorry, yourself, and meet your soul, meet who you are, be your friend. Because usually we try to reach out to others, which is fine for that love, for that support we just mentioned. But we've got us, and we've survived all our days. We've done our best all the time. Like we try. And something I witness with myself is that I don't even look at myself in the mirror, except for all this body dysmorphia, like, oh, this is not okay, this is not okay. And then now we have filters. So we're changing our faces on Instagram, on Snapchat. And something weird is happening where we're not really okay with that human face anymore, or the first thing we do when we see our reflection is, oh, this is wrong. Oh, you've got to do this. I'll put makeup on, or no, not that. Yeah. I would love for us to reconnect to when you're drunk and you go to the bathroom and you're like, oh my God, and you're like facing the mirror and you're having the best time. I want to connect to that. That moment where you're like, oh, this is me. So I want to do that sober, of course. Every energy healing is done when you're sober. So that's why it was in the PDF, like, please, we're doing energy healing. It would be best to be sober, but connect with yourself and see the shadows, see the good things as well. Like we concentrate a lot on the shadows because we also do that in the mirror, right? Oh, that thing. But there's something when you look at your eyes, when you look at yourself, and you're not faking that, okay, I'm cute or I'm not, but just seeing that human being who does everything, who tries every day to be loved and to be love to others, who does their best to just love and be loved. So I wanted to connect to that. So just like Erica, who had the archetypes card, I've got the mirror, and I was quite surprised to see that the moon is also there. And yeah, I'm gonna talk through that healing, but first I just want to ask for consent because I'm gonna send you frequencies. I'm gonna send you energy healing, and nobody should be sending you energy healing if you haven't said yes to it first. So I'd like you to ask yourself first, ask your body, ask that inner child, am I okay with receiving this right now? Try out loud. Try asking that question right now. Am I okay? Do I trust that girl? I don't know her, right? Ask yourself and wait for that answer. What is the body saying? All right, I can see some yeses. Good. Thank you so much for answering. Another thing, I'm going to send Reiki, which comes through my hands and it has that motion that you might know. But there's also something else that I do, and it's called light language. Light language is basically channeling frequency and energy and transcribing it through different things. So in the past, you might have seen me do things with my hands because that's how I shapeshift the frequency and send it to you. But now I also sing and say weird words, which might sound weird. I'm just channeling it. I got over the idea that it sounds gibberish, but it's fine. So if you hear me say anything, try to see if you witness it, if you trust it, if you want it. If at any point you don't want it, close yourself off. Just put your hands like this on your shoulders, close yourself off. And then you can do it a bit over again during the replay, it's fine. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you that, like, we ask for consent and then this is what's gonna happen. All good? I can see all your faces, that's good. Cool, okay. So, within Zoom, there's something you can do. You can select your video and there's those dots and then you can say pin video. I would love for you to pin yourself because yeah. And then you can do something on the side where you say there's display on the right hand side and you can choose the video that you've pinned. Is it working? Do you see yourself, just yourself and no one else? Please text because I can't see you anymore. Can you see me? Oh no, sorry, see you. Can you see yourself? Good, perfect, amazing, thank you. All right, so we're gonna have a little bit of breath work. So open your eyes and then look at yourself on the screen. And you might have smiled all day at one another, which is great. Now I'd love for you to smile at yourself. And there might be all the things you usually notice about yourself that you don't like. We all have that. And you know, it's called body dysmorphia, right? You don't like something, you view it as a weird shape, a weird thing. We don't like it. And that's something that we can consider an illness, right? And then it goes on, and then you can get out of it, and then it can come back for a few months. And I think this happens with the way we feel, the way we have emotions. There's some kind of emotional dysmorphia where we're like, this is not okay. I shouldn't be feeling like that, shouldn't be thinking that. Like we try to judge ourselves. Not today. Today we're actually going to see all the judges and then we're going to talk with them. So let's inhale. And let's look at yourself, just for who you are. So you can look at your eyes and continue to breathe in. And now you're alone, right? We're not here anymore. You don't see us. I would love for you to start to witness. What do you think? How do you feel? Is it a stranger? Is it someone you hate? Is it an enemy? Or is it you? Is it you in a good shape, in a bad shape? What do you see? Maybe for the first time you're going to notice something happened this year. Maybe your face changed, maybe you look tired. Maybe you look skinnier, or maybe you put on some weight. Be attentive. What's there? Your hair grew out. Maybe your posture reflects the stress that you put on your shoulders. And if there's any automatic thoughts that come in that try to define what you are, what is the label, try to identify those voices. Who's speaking? Is it the inner critic who has constructive criticism? Is it the judge who doesn't offer any second chances? It has damned, you looked like this and now it's not okay. Or is it a fairy godmother? So look at yourself with honesty, right? It's just observation. It's just information. And I would love for us to go past the physical realm and to think about the emotions, the identity. How do you define yourself? Continue to breathe in. And if you want to take a pen and paper and write all the things you see, it's just information again. We don't need to do the work now. But if you want to write everything down, and within that everything, I love for you to write what we can deem as negative and positive, what we can see as shadows, and what we can see as graces, gifts. Yeah, you're cute. Yeah, you have a nice smile. Yeah, you have a nice voice. Your haircut is amazing these days. Or yes, you gave so much support to everyone right now. You were doing it, you were present, you were listening, and you plan on supporting more. Yeah, you showed up for yourself by being here with all of us today. Yeah, you survived all of this year. You survived all of the other years. Sometimes it's difficult to see the shadows. And sometimes when life has been really difficult, it's more tenuous. It's more hard to see the gifts. If you don't tell it to yourself, you're never gonna trust someone that says it to you. So at some point, we actually have to find a nook in that self-love compartment and try. It's not easy. And you can ask for help to all of us, but you can also open time parcels within your day where you're gonna look at yourself in the mirror and smile and look at your soul, meet your soul from the deep of your eyes. And actually, I have a story. I was a child and life was difficult, so I was on the phone with my dad, and we didn't live together. And he told me, just if you're having a bad day, go in front of the mirror and smile, and force yourself to smile. After 2 minutes, you're actually really gonna feel that smile, and it helps. So maybe you can try that a little bit every day. Before in the morning, having a ritual, just looking at yourself, not for where you're going to put that foundation or washing your teeth, but actually just greeting yourself in the morning. And then same at night, just like journaling, just like lighting up a candle. I'm going to start with the healing part. So I'm going to stop speaking so much, but continue meeting your eyes, looking at yourself, breathing in. So if you want to also close your eyes, you can do that too. And putting your hands on your heart, connecting with your skin, with the rhythm of your heart, with your body. And putting all that consciousness in that location, your heart center. And witnessing that maybe you're stressing because you just seen a lot of shadows and gifts. So we're going to open that, and I can feel your third eye also needs a little bit of that magic for you to be a little bit more clear cognizant and be more ready to see what we want to see together. And within that self-love, which could be a divine feminine energy, we also need to put the other part of that polarity, which comes with that accountability, that, okay, taking account of the shadows as well, right? If you do recognize that maybe you are lazy, for example, then what can you do about it? What could be the actions? So we're asking for compassion, for acceptance, and for self-accountability so that you can trust yourself. Sure, you're doing difficult things and we can find reasons for that. But sometimes the reasons can feel like excuses to not do the work. We're not doing that today. So we're embracing, loving, but we're also taking notes. Saturn is here. Saturn is saying, eh. So yeah, I could feel that that was something that we needed to address. We're not too woo, right? So if there were projects or just things on your plates that you need to do, we're gonna do it this week, this month. So within that heart center, I want us to put all that consciousness in and kind of turn inward in a silvery, moon-like journey. We're going to enter deeper and deeper. And if you want to visualize glitters, white, silver, and actually the moon has brown and blues as well. So imagine that landscape within your heart, entering that tunnel. And maybe that tunnel has posters all around with all the shadows and all the voices saying shame, shame, guilt, judgment. And to this, we are going to shift the energy and be neutral, taking that information, knowing that you are a magician, a shapeshifter. You can do that alchemy, but it starts by seeing. The tunnel is not that long. The light comes through, but we cannot avoid that path. It's the only path through the light. We have to address our realities, the gifts and the shadows, the things we have to do, the karma we have to clear, and the actual beauty and love that you deserve to give yourself. So we continue to walk through that. And as we walk through that tunnel, we're getting into the throat, from the heart to the throat, and we're clearing all the things that we want to say. in all the ways that we want to say it. So I would love for you to say to yourself, you're muted right now, but say to yourself out loud what you need to say. And it might look like what you wrote with your left hand or non-dominant hand during Michelle's session. Self-soothe, pep talk. We need those. So I'm going to let the space right now for you to say that to yourself. You're doing amazing. Bonus point if you did it while looking at yourself in the screen. If you gave yourself your pep talk while looking at your reflection. And may you do this every morning and every evening. You look in silence or while giving yourself a pep talk. Being your own friend. Being your own advisor as well. Being your own godfather, godmother who says, hey, you're not on the path anymore. Come back. Do you see this? Where is your practice? Come back. During Amy's session, we talked a lot about letting go. So when we do alchemy, if we let go of something, we have to choose what we're going to put in that place. When we went from the heart to the throat and you gave yourself those words, we replaced all the words of shame and guilt. And I hope that you chose compassion and self-accountability and trust. So never do one thing and just leave it empty. Always choose. There's, for example, the 2 cups method. Like always choose what you're leaving behind and what you choose. Free will. Choose. If you do the vision board, if you do the manifesting, choose. The universe will help you, but you have to choose. You have to put in the actions. I want to go from the throat to the third eye right now because that's what it's calling me to do. So we're still walking through that tunnel. There's a lot more light. We address light with our words. And there's actually something that I wrote for the PDF, but it doesn't feel like it needs to be said today. So whenever you want to do this again, there's a typed up word ritual for you to connect with the moon, to connect with yourself. So now we're going to integrate what we did and open up our vessel to more. Third eye. Let's go. We have to pass through the barrier of the teeth and the jaw. A lot of us are keeping that energy here. So let's see what we can do energetically. And then Isaiah said it for some people, some houses, dental procedures. Actually, he said it for everyone. So everyone. All right. Sentekia, 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 kantakia, sakai, kantakia, santa. Indekia, I kantakia, sentekia. It's something to do with the anger. Like, well, let's be okay with being angry at ourselves and at others. Anger is healthy. It's one of the reactions. Don't put a judgment on anger. It's literally something that helps to defend yourself. It's protection. Sometimes it's overdone. Sometimes it's underdone. But anger has a place. There's a neutrality to there, and that it's needed. Santaka, 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 santaka. Yes, senteki, sente. Andaka. Hey, good job, guys. You're doing good. Aike, sentekia, santaka, sentekia, sentekia. Okay, so now we're entering the skull. The bones hold our memories. It holds our DNA. Archaeologists, when they find a mummy, when they find bones, they can find exactly what happened to you during those ages. Did you lack this? Did you experience sexual violence? They can find everything in your bones and in your nails. So let's release. Okay, let's release what we have in our bones, in our skull. Anta isandaki asandaki indaki isnagai isandaki ya isande o isande o gindekia o gundo isande. And if you want to put your hands over your eyes, just like in Gary's session, holding your cheekbones, holding your temples, and literally entering the temple of your third eye. You've got those beautiful columns, and you've got the altar on which the pineal gland is on your third eye. And we're going to put a beautiful vessel, beautiful cup, that's going to witness all the gifts and all the shadows, and it's going to help us to have more conscious connection with ourselves, more conversation. The aim is clarity. We want to be clear. So if you want to visualize that tunnel ending, going into the temple, putting your hands on the altar, and then putting a cup on this altar. And again, you can say something out loud, your intentions, what you will be doing in the following weeks, what you will be doing for yourself, for your gifts, for your shadows, for your higher self, for your inner child, and for the human self. And now I want to turn into the last part of this healing, the way this society works, the way our community works, is that we are mirrors to one another. Some of us are sacred mirrors. Their energy field is a mirror, and people never see us. They just see their projections, and they think it's us. They project upon us, but they don't see you because they don't want to see that it's them, that it's their shadows. They prefer to put it on you. So I like to have a pledge, have a moment where we turn those sacred mirrors so that your energy understands the work we did together, and you understand who you are, that you base your understanding of self from your observation, your honest, responsible observation, your kind and accepting observation, and not something that shifts according to who tweeted what, according to who looked at you like that, because that's giving them the remote control to your well-being. So we're going to turn all those mirrors so that people see themselves and get accountable to themselves or not. We don't really care. What we care is that we have our space seen for what it is by ourselves first. It will be mirrored by others, of course, but disconnecting from the projection of others, because you could run on those loops forever. You could be disconnected from your core and just be whoever people say who you are, whether it's a good thing, but it's not your thing, or it's a bad thing, and it's not your thing again. Everyone's opinion of you doesn't mean it's the truth. So if you want to visualize that you are surrounded by mirrors and that we're turning them face outside so that people, when they see you, they just see you and they can understand their behaviors, and that you see yourself in yourself. I don't know if it's understandable, but let's turn it, let's make it energetical. Let's choose that you're going to see yourself and that people will not be projecting upon you, or if they do, you don't even need to take it to heart. You don't need to question yourself all over again. All right? So I want you to put your hands, just like, let's make the space. Let's push things away right now. Let's have that motion of, let's take up that space. Let's widen the aura. Let's turn things around. You can do it in the top of your head, on the sides, in the back. You could turn on yourself as well. Santakie, 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 Kete, Say, King, King, Takia, Kiasanta, Kai, 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 Santakia. Oh, Santakie, Take, Santakia. Back to the sender. Boomerang. We don't need all of those things. You have a path. You have a life. You have a mission. And community is important, but individuality is super important. You need that individuation. You need to know yourself. You need to see yourself. Because life gets super exciting when you do. And it gets cool. And you're also able to meet yourself, meet your soul, and meet the soul of others. Once you know yourself, you're not looking for yourself in others. You're able to witness them, love them, not take anything personally because you know who you are. And life becomes a beautiful conversation, and it's not a triggering word on top of one another. So congratulations, because the energy has just been done. So we're going to come back from the third eye into the heart. We're going to just do that right now. Put your hands on your heart. Open your eyes if you've closed them. Look at yourself and say whatever you want to say. Maybe you want to say, I love you. I got you. Trust me. I'll be trustworthy. I'll show you. Let's be friends. So I'm going to take myself out of your energetical space. So you're more than welcome to brush your hands, stretch yourself, take a big inhale. And thank you. Thank you so much. Take your time. Thank you. Thank you so much. Whew, how do you feel? Yes, thank you so much. I can see your faces. We went deep, right? That was great. I want to do some more. Let's go to the other planets. But yes, I'm going to give the mic again to Erica. But if you enjoyed this, go to the sun. There's a replay in the PDF. Do the sun. It really helped some of you, and it's something you can do on your own. That's what I want. I want you to have the tools. You can do this one all over again as well. It doesn't need to take that much time, but look at yourself in the mirror in the morning, in the evening, connect. See your soul. I love you. Thank you so much. Back to you, Erica.